Let's talk about a world that, for the longest time, seemed like it would never change. Insurance and finance. But right now, there's a quiet revolution happening. Technology is storming the castle, and it's completely rewriting the rulebook. Okay, let's get into it.
I mean, have you ever felt like you're just drowning in paperwork? Or you're waiting for weeks just to get a simple yes or no? If you've ever felt like the whole process is designed to be as painful as possible, yeah, you're definitely not alone. It's a system that was built for a totally different time, but all of that is changing, and probably a lot faster than you think.
You know, for generations, the big traditional insurance companies built their entire world on things like trust and stability. And that experience, that history, it's incredibly valuable. But it came with a catch. It was all propped up by these ridiculously slow, manual processes that are a total nightmare for anyone trying to get something done today.
And this right here, this is what I mean. This is the old-school underwriting gauntlet. First, you have to hunt down and submit all your forms and documents. Then, you've got to schedule and go to a medical exam. After that, someone you've never met pours over your entire medical history. And after all that fun, you wait. And wait. And wait. For anywhere from 3 to 8 weeks. That's potentially 2 months of just sitting around, in limbo.
But all that waiting, all that frustration, it created this massive opportunity. And that's where the insurtechs come in. Think of them as tech-driven startups that are basically acting like catalysts for change. They're injecting fresh ideas, data analytics, and AI right into the heart of the old system. They're not just trying to make the old way a little better. They're building a whole new way of doing things.
And believe me, this isn't some small, niche trend. The global insurtech market is on track to grow at an annual rate of almost 53% all the way to 2030. That is absolutely explosive. It's a huge signal that tech isn't just a nice-to-have feature anymore. It's become the main engine driving this entire industry forward.
So what does this actually look like for you? Well, just check out this comparison from a company like Ethos. On the one hand, you have the old way. Mandatory medical exams, waiting weeks for coverage, mountains of paperwork. And on the other hand, the new way. For many people, no medical exam at all. Coverage not in weeks, but on the very same day. And that paperwork, it's now an online application you can knock out in just a few minutes. It's a completely different universe.
And this isn't just some clever marketing slogan. This is a real review from a real customer, Shirley Walker. 5 minutes. 5 minutes to get insured for $1.2 million, instantly. That is the kind of speed and simplicity that tech makes possible, and frankly, it's what people are starting to expect.
Now, all this amazing innovation brings a whole new menu of options to the table, which is fantastic for us as consumers. But it also means there are some new trade-offs you've got to understand. It's really all about knowing which product fits your specific situation.
So, at a high level, you've got 2 main paths to choose from now. The traditional, fully underwritten path is still around. It's super comprehensive, it usually involves that medical exam, and honestly, it can get you the lowest prices if you're in great health. But then there's simplified issue. This is the streamlined path. No medical exam, just a few health questions, and you get approved way faster. The trade-off? That convenience might mean you pay a little bit more.
And technology has kicked the door open even wider with something called guaranteed issue policies. And it's exactly what it sounds like. Approval is guaranteed. No medical exam, no health questions, period. Now, the coverage amounts are usually a bit lower, but this is an absolute game changer for people who might have been denied coverage in the past. It's all about access.
And it's not just the products that are evolving, it's how they're sold. You'll hear these 2 words a lot: cross-selling and upselling. Cross-selling is pretty simple. It's about breadth, like when your car insurance company offers you a deal on home insurance. Upselling is about depth, adding more features to a policy you already have. And because of tech, companies can use data to make these offers feel genuinely useful and personalized, not just like a random sales pitch.
Okay, so this brings us to a much bigger, more fundamental question. We've seen how technology can speed up getting a policy, but can it actually give us better financial advice? I mean, really, can an algorithm replace the hard-won wisdom of a human expert?
Well, that is the exact question that a team at the Amundi Research Center decided to figure out. They dove in and did this massive study to see if using a robo-advisor made any real, measurable difference in how well regular people invest their money.
And the results are, well, they're pretty mind-blowing. The study split investors into groups. The robo-curious, the folks who looked at the robot's advice but then did their own thing, they saw returns around 7%. Okay, but look at this. The robo-takers, the people who actually followed the device, their returns jumped to over 12.5%. And the ones who just let the tech automate everything did even better. That performance gap is just massive. It's clear proof the technology helps.
But, and this is such a fascinating twist, our human emotions still play a huge role. The researchers found that when the market gets scary and starts to tank, people are way less likely to actually follow the robot's advice, even when it's designed to protect them. The chances of someone acting on an alert dropped from nearly 50% in normal times all the way down to 22% during a downturn. We get scared and stop trusting the machine.
So, you see, the big takeaway here isn't about man versus machine. It's not about tech coming in to completely wipe out the old guard. The data is telling us that the most powerful approach, the smartest way forward, is actually a combination of the two.
And that really brings us to the core idea. The future of this industry isn't a choice between a human or a machine. It's a powerful synthesis of both. It's about blending that deep, decades-long expertise of the traditional firms with the speed and efficiency of the new tech. The real magic word here is collaboration.
And when that partnership happens, you get this amazing recipe for success. You get measured innovation, that's the fresh ideas from the tech startups, backed by the resources of the big players to actually scale them. You get products to market way faster, you get a much richer, more personalized customer experience, and you get smarter risk management, combining years of human instinct with powerful AI. Everybody wins.
So the world of finance and insurance, it's just not that slow, intimidating beast it used to be. It is faster, it's more accessible, and it's way more personalized than ever before. The power has really shifted, giving you more options and more control. The only question left is, what will you do with it? Thanks for joining us for this explainer.